After being away for a month and taking that long hiatus, I'm finally back to report on what I've been up to in the month of August. My name is Eddie Cespedes. Welcome to my $1 million diary. And in this channel, I document my journey from zero to $1 million in net worth. All right, so the last video I made was July 22nd or something like that. It was the last week of July, and I said that I wasn't going to make a video the following week. Little did I know, it turned out to be a whole month. But this is what I've been up to in that month. So the whole YouTube thing, right? Like this was my whole big idea for this quarter, like the big thing that I was going to focus on because I know I was talking about being spread too thin. So I was going to do one thing at a time. Well, that thing did not really pan out the way that I wanted it to because I have 167 subscribers as of the time that I made this PowerPoint. If I were to check right now, I'm actually down one subscriber to 166. So I made actually no, that's not true. I think I made like 2 or 3 videos for the month of August. So my total is at 212 out of 500, which was the goal. I don't know why this says December. I can't change that right now. It's supposed to be 500 by the end of uh, September, which is this month. I have about 23 days to get that done, and that's not going to happen. So I'm 42% of the way done with that goal. 167 subscribers. Like the momentum really just died. So it looks like what happened was I had no motivation to make these videos. To be honest, it got really boring, and I know that's a really bad excuse, but I also got distracted by a lot of other projects, and it's just stuff that really it was just ideas that I felt like I just needed to do. So I went and I did them. I don't really regret it. I mean, I can always just um, get back to this later. I mean, I have some ideas for this YouTube channel, but this will be something that I do take on again. But in the time, I don't know why this says December. It says making the December goal. Okay, no, it's September because that will be the end of the third quarter. December is for the end of the fourth quarter, which would be the end of the year. So yeah, so the whole YouTube thing completely got stopped, dead, like no movement, nothing whatsoever. Real estate updates. So initially, I made this. Okay, so I actually made this video that I'm trying to do right now. I made it like 3 other times, and I screwed it up in some way or another. One of them actually I was able to complete it, but by the time that I was able to piece it together, I didn't even get a chance to upload it, and it was already too late. So I didn't feel like uploading something that was like 3 weeks late. So, anyways, that's a side note. But going back to this real estate updates, at the time of maybe mid August, there were absolutely no updates. There wasn't really anything going on, but now there is. So I got a service call. There's some other water intrusion going on property number 3. Uh, so there were 3 doors so far this year that I've changed because I had a contractor back in the day that I had to go in there and fix that townhome up. Did a very bad job. So pretty much I paid him about 25 grand, and everything that he did, I've had to go back over and do it again. So it was a $60,000 job initially, and I was able to find somebody to do it for a lot cheaper. And things that are cheap are typically end up being pretty expensive. So, anyways, I thought there was one door that didn't need to be changed because it was the only door where I felt like everything was fine. And so I had one of my contractors go over there and fix 3 of the 4 doors. Turns out that fourth door did need to get changed because water, I'm assuming water was accumulating over the course of probably 3 years, and it was pretty much messing everything up. Uh, so yeah, so I got a service call saying that water was actually leaking through the bottom. It was coming in through the door. The tenant was pretty sure it was coming in through the door. I mean, he has some contractor experience since he does do a little bit of he works for like a renovation company or something like that. So he was pretty adamant that it was coming from the door. I believed him. I sent my contractor over there. Turned out that it was coming in from the door. So the contractor went out there and reinstalled and installed the door again. Turned out he found a lot of termite damage, and what it looks like to us was I trusted these previous contractors when they went over there, and I paid them full price to change all the doors in the house. And it looks like they took the money and they went about bought some used doors. And at least for the frame of the door, it looks like they might have grabbed some of the frames and I forgot what that other piece is called, but whatever, from the downstairs doors and brought them upstairs because the contractor ended up finding termite damage on the door, well, the door frames. And yeah, and then he said he had an idea on how to fix it. And well, looks like once he went to go implement that idea, he saw that that idea had already been implemented by previous contractors, which is how we came to the conclusion that this was already a bad door, and then they just got it from cheap somewhere, or probably used one of the downstairs doors and put it up there, and told me that they did everything, or they got me new doors, which was not the case. So he added some filler to where all the termite damage was at, and then he just put like a long screw so that the door will be held by the wood that's on the other side of the wall instead of the actual. Anyways, all this technical stuff doesn't matter. The point is, I got screwed over. Uh, I got a service call. Water was leaking into the house. Contractor went out there, took care of it. Everything's good. So we got that done. And I also took care of that invoice. It was already paid. Property two, I got an escrow reassessment and they dropped my mortgage payments by $70. I have a feeling that my taxes are gonna, or like the escrow is gonna get readjusted again towards the beginning of next year, because typically around this time they always reduce the mortgage and then they increase it again. So like they'll assess the escrow, adjust the mortgage, and then they do another mortgage adjustment at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the following year. So I have a feeling those $70 I'm saving, they're going to get added back into the mortgage early next year. So I'm not really like I'm not excited about it or anything. Like I appreciate it, but those 70 extra dollars that I'm making, I'm just putting them in savings. And whenever this mortgage gets reassessed again, then I'm going to just add it to the escrow, because I looked on the county website and I saw that my taxes on that property also went up $300. So it does not make any sense that my insurance, uh, I think the insurance this year stayed the same, or it went down like $20, but my taxes are up 300, and now you're lowering my payments by 70. No, that doesn't make sense. So I'm just gonna keep it and wait to see what happens at the beginning of 2026. Also, there was a tenant. Well, actually, I had two tenants last year that weren't able to pay me rent, and I had to basically get them to leave. I worked out a payment plan with them, and one of them owed me a little over $5,000 after. I think I gave them like a 3 month grace period so they could get themselves situated and they could start making like small payments over the course of 3 years. So I thought I was being really nice. Well, it turns out when it was time for them to make that first payment, they pretty much just disappeared. So I got to see what I'm going to do about that. I don't know if I'm just going to let it slide. I feel like at this point I should just let it slide and then just take this as a learning opportunity, or like, well, yeah, just take it as a learning opportunity and implement all of this into future contracts where I'm not going to give anybody like this kind of grace period. I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to be so lenient like I was before. I'm not going to try to be that nice, because nice guys do finish last, like in this case. So now the second tenant, she was actually really good. So this has been 20, I think 2024 was when she moved out, and she was keeping in contact with me for a little over a year. And I would just ask her and say, hey, like, what's going on? She would tell me her situation, and then she would, every now and then, she would send me some money until she covered the money that she owed me. I think I gave her like 2 months or so, and now I've been trying to reach out to her, and she hasn't been responding any of my text messages. She hasn't been sending me any more money. She got one of the last text messages. She actually read it, like she just left me on red. So I'm like, okay. So I guess I probably won't be getting my money on that one either. So that one, I don't know if I also want to take her to court, if I just want to let it all go, because at this point I'm not gonna get that money back. I would just be taking them to court so that it would show up on their record. So like whenever they try to move into another place or whatever, that will always show up on there, like the money that they owe me. So I don't know if it's really worth my time right now. I feel like even like what's the cost of trying to send them to court. I feel like I could do a lot more, a lot better things with that money right now, anyways. So I still got some time before I decide what I'm gonna do, but we'll see how that plays out. But this is why landlords are the way that they are. Sometimes they're just dicks and they have like no room for empathy because people will take advantage of that empathy. All right. So as far as e-commerce, uh, let's see if I break it down over here. So eBay, I made 1,672 in revenue. On Amazon, I made 430. This is for the Amazon influencer. And on Etsy, I made $361 in revenue. Facebook Marketplace, uh, I made $25. I don't know why I kept this in here. That's really the same thing. It's like saying nothing. But as far as e-commerce, I had a really great month. There was like a lot. Like I said, I stopped doing the whole YouTube stuff because I just had like these other ideas. Like my brain was just scrambling everywhere, and I had these other ideas that I felt like I wanted to implement. So I did, and luckily some of it didn't work out, some of it did work out. But it lets me know what I need to do better or things that I need to adjust moving forward. But it's really promising. So as you can see, eBay finally started selling on eBay. $1,672 in that first month. That was pretty good. The Amazon influencer, I think I only uploaded like one or two videos, but I don't know if it's the algorithm. Supposedly, I like watched a video somewhere that the algorithm is always changing every month, so maybe it just changed for the better. And now I made 430, whereas last month I made 275, and it was like a huge decline. So at least 430 is kind of where I normally am, which is like I typically I'm declining because really Amazon's just getting oversaturated, so it's a slow decline. But at least 430 is in part with that slow decline that I'm used to seeing, as opposed to going from like $500 or $475 to 275. That was kind of like a bit of a panic. And I think so far at the beginning of this month, we're kind of off to a slow start actually, but I think we're off to a better start than 275 because whatever month it was that I made 275, which I think was like probably May, maybe was it May? Yeah, it was probably May. That was terrible. That was abysmal. I was making like $2 to $3 a day. Etsy towards the last week of July, I actually made a lot. So that wouldn't reflect here, but I made like a big sale where I think I made like $150 or something like that. But but yeah, so since the end of July all the way through August, Etsy sales really picked up. Right now in September, they're off to like a really slow start. So I'm probably selling right now back to what I normally do, which is about one sale a week, 1 to 2 sales a week. I'm right back to that, even though my views, I'm still getting the same high views. Where I think in July, towards the end of July, my views started going from like an average, and by views I mean like the store views, store visits. They were on average between 80 and 90, and all of a sudden they've gotten up to as high as like 200, and now it's kind of leveled off at about like 150 to 190 is where I'm at. So my products are being showed. I guess the algorithm is favoring me, but people are just not buying right now, which that's fine as long as the views are there, then I'm okay. It's just people just are not interested in the product at the moment, and that's fine. And then Facebook Marketplace is $25. So the whole eBay and Facebook Marketplace, and even Etsy, not so much Amazon. There's there's like this idea that I'm trying to work out with my parents right now, where I'm trying to see if like we can source some products and then sell it across these platforms for a lot of money. And some of it's been working out pretty good, some of it not so much. There's still like a lot of details that we need to work out, but um, yeah. So that's why I think I was just experimenting with Facebook Marketplace, and like there's this thing I sold for like $25. I was like, okay, pretty cool. But then there was other stuff that I sold on eBay and it was making a lot more money. Um, but yeah, anyways, there's still little details that I need to work out. And other like revenue stuff that's not on here. Oh, so here is the actual proof right here. So this is the picture. So this is my Etsy Etsy dashboard. So you can see I made that. And then this is my eBay dashboard. So right there, 1672. And then my Amazon dashboard for the month of, crap, it doesn't show the money. Anyways, it's what I said it's here. So as of September 1st, this was last updated September 1st. And this shows last month's earning. So yeah, you could just track this over here right there. So I was making around like $40, maybe 20 every now and then. So yeah, that's on Amazon. This month does not look like that. Oh wait, it is here. So if you see right there at the bottom, it says I earned 400 and I don't know what that says. It should be $430. Yeah, $430.79. Oof, I'm going blind. Uh, yeah. So as far as e-commerce, this was actually by far the best month I've ever had in e-commerce. Uh, unless, actually, no, it was right. Yeah, it was. I was gonna say there was a one point where on Amazon I used to make like 1800 dollars a month with the influencer program, but but as far as like actually selling, that's all like affiliate. Yeah, it's all referrals and affiliate links and all that stuff. But this like actually selling like e-commerce, actually being in e-commerce, this was by far the best month I've ever had. Now, as far as personal development and goals, the reason why I probably won't be able to achieve my YouTube goal and a lot of my other goals is because uh, I have to take my national board exams, and not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday on the 17th. So, as of today, it is the 7th. I got 10 days to prepare for that, and I'm not prepared at all. To be honest, I really should have prepared for this probably like a month ago. Should have given myself at least a month and a half to really be ready for this, and I didn't do that. And honestly, that's my fault. I made my bed, so now I have to lay in it. The whole family business development is it's like this little side business that I was talking about earlier. Where we're just trying to find a way to like source products, as my stepdad's able to find a lot of antique stuff, and now if we can just find a way to sell it for a decent profit and kind of divide it accordingly and all of that, and see how we're going to structure everything, that would be great. But that is a work in progress. And I did have a goal. I never like talked about it on this channel, but I had a goal of trying to get my emergency savings fund to at least 3 months of expenses, because that's typically where I can feel comfortable. Because right now, well, actually, for about a year, ever since I closed on the last condo where we're at right now, I have not felt comfortable at all, because I just feel like any little expense, any service call from a tenant, anything that goes wrong, appliance breaking in the house or whatever, it's really annoying and it's frustrating, and I'm just always crossing my fingers. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, thinking about broken appliances and HVAC systems and stuff, and it really wakes me up. But I guess that stress is part of it's part of the journey, and it comes with the territory. So yeah. So anyways, the main focus for this month is the national board exams, and then the future business expansion. I don't know. I have AI make all of this stuff, so some of it I don't even know why it does that. But 2025, the main focus is to complete my national board exams and get certified to get my mortician's license, to get my embalmer's license and funeral director's license. That's really the main focus right now. If I could get that, then 2025 will be a success. I got a lot of online sales and ideas, like a lot of online sales ideas that I'm putting on pause until I finish this whole exam stuff. So I'm actually really excited for 2026, because right now, from the time that I finish this exam, and then I got one more exam that I got to take once I get that license, from that point up until the end of the year, it's just going to be me focusing on new business strategies and ideas that I got going on, and just trying to implement them. And really, it's just me getting ready for 2026, because I feel like 2026 is going to be a big breakthrough year, and I'm really excited for it. Like I don't know why, but just something in me just tells me 2026 is gonna be that year. There's also a lot of stuff that I need to finish in 2026, and it's gonna be a hard little battle over there. It's gonna be a uphill battle, uphill climb, whatever you want to call it, to um, to achieve those goals that I've set for myself. But I am excited overall. I don't know. Do I have anything else here? Okay, so some of the challenges in August, there was a lot of like work stress stuff that was going on at work that needed to get handled. It's fine. We did take care of that. All that's good. Family adjustment. My wife did go back to work in August, so yeah, it was also a big adjustment period, uh, as far as like the our schedules were concerned, and then the baby. So that's also why I didn't have like a whole lot of time for the whole YouTube stuff, because it was really like when I'm doing the YouTube stuff, like I have to work in batches. So it might be an hour to actually it's an hour. Feels like an hour, but it's like 3 hours go by. So I need kind of like a long time to just sit and do everything that I'm trying to do for that YouTube channel. And with the wife returning back to work, and then, the baby being a little bit older, and it's well, his needs changing, it was an adjustment period, and I couldn't really just sit for 2 hours, even not even two. If I get 2 hours, that's pretty good. But yeah, it was like my work was always constantly being interrupted, so it just gets to the point that I'm like, "All right, I'm not doing this." And then by the time nighttime comes, it's kind of like when I get to work on my stuff, but then I feel like, for example, if I make sales on one of the other e-commerce platforms, I have to go and I have to package all that stuff. I do have to print out the labels, like that stuff that has to be done, and then I have to the following morning take that to the post office. So that kind of takes priority over sitting down and let's start working on YouTube. And then when my energy's already kind of my battery's at it's all like on the red line, I'm hitting my 20%. I can't really just like focus and start doing the YouTube stuff. By that time, like I'm all drained, I'm exhausted. I just try to get all the priorities done. The little other ideas that I end up having when I try to post listings and stuff like that, I get that done, and then after that, I just go to bed and then sleep 3, 4, if I'm lucky, 5 hours, wake up and, start my day again. So that's why the whole YouTube thing wasn't really like working out. That's also why I haven't really been able to make any of these friggin' update videos or anything, because it's just tough right now. But those were a lot of the challenges. Despite all that, it was a great month. I think it was probably the best month of the year so far. I was able to test a lot of new ideas. Some of them failed, and some of them did great. It was, as far as money wise, I made the most money. I made the most profit this month than any other month in 2025. And I feel like this month, August, that month of August right now in September, but the month of August, I feel like it was a pretty good um, foundation for for 2026, and I'm hoping to really start 2026 strong. Even though right now I feel like some stuff happened and I'm kind of having doubts on it, but we don't know yet. I am still hopeful. I think 2026 will be a strong year, and I feel like it started with the month of August of 2025. So yeah, my emergency fund right now, I'm at like 90%. So I know I wanted that 3 month emergency fund. I'm almost there. I'm probably gonna reach that here in the next couple of weeks. It actually, I was able to get to it a lot quicker than I thought. Revenue growth, yeah, like I said, it was the most profitable month, the most profitable month across all the platforms that I have. And then, yeah, despite all the setbacks, I'm still maintaining progress towards 2026. I haven't made my 2026 goals yet because, to be honest, I still have fourth quarter goals. And that is it. That's what it looks like. So, yeah, this is pretty much everything that I've said throughout this whole video. And yeah, despite challenges, August was ultimately successful. Yeah, August was really successful month. It's the only month so far this year that I could really say that I'm proud of. I'm really proud of that month. September, we'll see. It all depends on when I take my exams. If I finish those exams, then September will also be a successful month, despite anything else that I don't achieve. Because at the end of this month is when the fourth quarter, oh, the fourth quarter ends, and I'm supposed to go over all my goals and see what I was able to accomplish and what I was able to not accomplish. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that I didn't accomplish, and then there's going to be some stuff that I feel good about that wasn't even on my list. So I don't really know how to feel about that. But that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. Really, when I say you guys, I just mean me, because I'm the only one that really goes back and watches this stuff, and I really just do most of this stuff for me so that I can go back and look at all of this in the future. I think some of the videos that I did last year, I've actually went back and looked at them, and it's kind of interesting when I like backtrack, because I haven't made videos, but I did make. I used to have a lot of spreadsheets with all my accounts and just pretty much everything. Like I have my entire life broken down into spreadsheets, and I was able to consolidate some of those. And to this day, I still go back and I'll look at all that stuff, because I think I started this journey in 2020 actually. The beginning of 2020 was when I said I wanted to try and like be a millionaire or something like that. And looking back where I was then to how I am now, it feels like really good. And then I'm also able to measure, because I still have the spreadsheet, so I'm able to measure the points when like I was really able to break through, and now like my net worth pretty much goes up on its own, even when I feel like I'm having like a terrible month or I'm having like a terrible year. So that's pretty cool. It's compound interest is it's a pretty cool thing. So yeah. Anyways, I really just make these videos for myself because I like going back and just seeing where I'm at different points in my life. So anyways, but if anybody watches it, appreciate it. And until next time.